For 11 seasons, Bitchin rides gave the world a rare and unfiltered look inside one of America's most respected custom car shops. No staged arguments. No manufactured drama. Just an exceptionally talented team doing exceptionally difficult work, and doing it better than almost anyone else in the country. So when Dave Kindig announced in November 2024 that the 11th season would be the last, the custom car community was blindsided. The show hadn't lost its audience. The work hadn't declined. In fact, Kindig Design had just won the prestigious Riddler Award, the highest honor in custom car building, for their stunning creation known as 12 Air, a project 4.5 years in the making. The cancellation made no creative sense. To understand why it happened, you have to look beyond the workshop floor and into the boardrooms, courtrooms, and contract negotiations that shaped, and ultimately ended, one of the most authentic automotive shows ever made. Dave Kindig didn't come from money, and he didn't come from connections. He grew up in modest circumstances, raised by a single mother, and developed an obsession with cars and design long before he had any formal training. He left high school early, not out of failure, but out of restlessness, and began teaching himself through hands-on work, learning the trade by pulling apart and rebuilding inexpensive cars, including a 1977 Toyota Celica GT that became one of his earliest proving grounds. In 1999, Dave and his wife Charity made a decision that most people in their position wouldn't dare to make. With virtually no startup capital, they founded Kindig Design out of their family garage in Salt Lake City, Utah. The winters were brutal. There was no heat. Dave sketched designs on a folding plastic table, then built them himself, serving as fabricator, painter, and graphic designer all at once, because hiring help wasn't an option yet. What they were building was real. And slowly word got out. As the shop's reputation began to grow, it attracted not only clients, but opportunistic investors. A group of financially powerful partners maneuvered to take control of the business with the intention of steering it away from bespoke craftsmanship and toward high-volume Mopar restoration, an assembly line operation that would have gutted everything Dave stood for. They wanted his name and his skills without his vision. Dave and Charity refused to surrender. With financial backing from Charity's family, they bought out their partners and reclaimed full control of the company. It was a defining moment, one that would shape how Dave approached every major business decision for the next 2 decades. He had learned at great personal cost that protecting the soul of the work was non-negotiable. From that foundation, the team grew deliberately. Kevin Skila joined in 2004 and became far more than a shop foreman. He was a trusted partner who helped build the operational structure that would eventually sustain the demands of a national television production. The shop expanded to 27,000 square feet. Dave secured a patent for a flush door handle design that became an industry-recognized signature of his work and launched the modern classic paint line. Kindig Design was no longer just a shop. It was a brand, and an influential one. The opportunity for television came when producers at the Velocity Network, later rebranded as Motor Trend, took notice of the GM Feuderliner restoration underway at Kindig Design. The Feuderliner is one of only 12 surviving parade vehicles from General Motors' Parade of Progress program, a genuine artifact of mid-century American industrial culture. Restoring it was a massive, painstaking undertaking, and it was exactly the kind of story that television was built for. When contract discussions began in 2014, Dave made his position clear from the outset. There would be no staged scenes, no manufactured conflict between teammates, no reenactments for the benefit of camera angles. The crew from Pfizer Productions would function as observers, present, but not intrusive, capturing the actual rhythm of the shop as it genuinely operated. This was a harder sell than it sounds. Automotive reality television at the time leaned heavily on artificial tension and scripted confrontations. Dave's insistence on authenticity was a genuine creative risk for the network and a financial one for the shop. Projects routinely exceeded $500,000, and those clients expected results, not television storylines. But it worked. Bitchin rides found an audience that was hungry for exactly what Dave was offering: craft over chaos. Over 11 seasons, the Pfizer Productions crew became so integrated into the shop's culture that filming stopped feeling like an imposition. They understood the stress of a complicated frame, the silence before an engine fired for the first time, and the specific satisfaction of a fit that was just right. That familiarity made for better television, and it made the show's authenticity feel earned rather than performed. Fame has a way of drawing lawsuits, and Kindig Design was no exception. The first significant legal battle came in 2014, when Dave filed suit against a Michigan-based engineering firm called Creative Controls over the unauthorized use of his patented flush door handle design. The case lasted 3 years and cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. The financial strain was real, but the psychological toll may have been heavier. Dave was forced to divert significant time and energy away from the shop floor and into depositions and courtrooms. Then came a far more damaging episode in 2022, when a group of more than 30 chiropractors filed a class action lawsuit against Kindig Design over a 1974 Dodge Charger restoration project. The clients had collectively paid $230,000 in deposits. Years later, they alleged they had received little more than a bare chassis. Their central claim was pointed, that the shop had systematically deprioritized civilian client projects in order to funnel resources into vehicles destined for television filming. Additional complaints surfaced around the same time, including a Camaro owner who reported waiting over 3 years for bodywork that remained incomplete. Dave addressed these pressures in a characteristically direct way, acknowledging the difficulty of running a high-end shop under public scrutiny without conceding wrongdoing. The gap between what viewers see on screen, polished reveals, satisfied clients, seamless builds, and the reality of managing a years-long fabrication queue proved to be fertile ground for misunderstanding and, eventually, litigation. These cases didn't destroy Kindig Design, but they complicated the shop's image at a critical moment, just as larger forces were beginning to threaten the show itself. In 2022, Warner Media and Discovery completed a merger to form Warner Bros. Discovery, one of the largest media consolidations in recent history. The new company moved quickly to rationalize its assets and redirect resources toward its flagship streaming platform, Max. Every property in the portfolio came under review, including Motor Trend Network, which now found itself being evaluated not on the quality of its programming, but on its scalability and streaming potential. Bitchin rides had a loyal audience, but loyalty doesn't generate the kind of engagement metrics that justify a cable network's existence within a streaming-first corporate strategy. The show didn't fit the new model. That appears to have been enough. In November 2024, Dave Kindig posted on Instagram confirming what many had feared: Season 11 was the end. The announcement came at what should have been a moment of pure celebration. The shop had just received the Riddler Award, the custom car world's most coveted recognition. Instead, it was shadowed by the abrupt end of a television partnership that had defined the shop's public identity for more than a decade. Plans for a 12th season, which had already received preliminary approval, were quietly shelved. The crew from Pfizer Productions, who had spent 11 years embedded in the shop's culture, lost their jobs with no transition period and no warning. For Dave, this wasn't just the end of a contract. It was the unceremonious dismantling of something that had been built slowly and carefully over hundreds of episodes. He made no effort to hide his frustration, noting publicly that the decisions had been made by people who had never set foot in the shop, executives working from spreadsheets rather than from any understanding of what was actually being created there. Dave Kindig didn't take time to grieve the show. He moved forward. The centerpiece of Kindig Design's post-television era is the CF-1, a limited production model drawing on the proportions of the 1953 Corvette but rebuilt from the ground up with a full carbon fiber body, a roadster shop chassis, and a Lingenfelter LS7 engine. It's a car designed for collectors who understand the difference between a production vehicle and a purpose-built piece of rolling sculpture. By the first half of 2026, more than 27 units had been ordered, demonstrating that Dave's reputation had outlasted his television platform entirely. More controversially, Dave also introduced an electric variant of the CF-1, a move that generated significant debate among traditional custom car enthusiasts. With 580 horsepower and instant torque delivery, the electric CF-1 is a genuine performance machine, not a novelty. It's also a statement that Kindig Design answers to its own standards. not to the expectations of any particular audience or ideology. To stay connected with the community that followed the shop through 11 seasons of television, Dave launched the Kindig All-Access YouTube channel, a platform where he controls the format, the pacing, and the story without network interference. Bitchin Rides is over. But the work continues, on Dave's terms, which is exactly how it was always supposed to be.